Social Democratic Party. Progress.
Well, first and foremost, we are monitoring the situation very closely. We don't want to conclude on the reason why he was arrested, because security agencies arrested him. But as a matter of fact, we've been following the development between the labor and the police at a point where the police IG invited the labor leader. We thought that issue is over. But what is surprising to us as a party, the kind of Gestapo arrest that was conducted, was arrested we had at the airport, which we thought there was no need for that kind of deliberate action. It would have been more civil because they have not been declared wanted. It would have been more civil. The government would have invited him for further clarification if there's any development. So we feel that this is a very hostile way of running the system. And the government must be very careful for applying hostility in every situation. Dissenting voices are normal in democracy and are constitutionally protected. The government must be very careful given the level of frustration, the cost of livelihood that have skyrocketed, the cost of goods that have skyrocketed, the petroleum that is extremely scarce and over 1,000 naira per liter is itself infuriating the entire system. And then if the attempt is to silence the voices that oppose some of these decisions, then the government is in for a bigger trouble to come, because labor is part of government. The labor leaders manage government establishment by their unions, and they are one system, they are part of the executive. So we felt that this is not right, this is not the kind of environment that we need to create as a country. We need to create a very friendly environment that protects everybody, all the political parties. We are all stakeholders. We have elected people in government. So it's a source of concern and a very serious source of worry to us. Government must apply cautiousness in terms of this kind of harsh application. Treason. The man wouldn't have been working freely. Now, if you said you are charging him with terrorism, there was no reason for them to allow him to work freely after inviting and having an interview. So we shouldn't politicize serious issues and create constitutional crisis. When you charge someone with treason, the meaning of treason in our own constitution is a very severe offense. And the terrorism, by every definition, not just Nigeria, all over the world, is a major fundamental offense. Now, if these two are well established against him, why do they allow him to go after inviting him? Why shouldn't they charge him to court? So you release the man who you said have committed treason or act of terrorism, and then at the last minute, he's going for an assignment, which I believe the government is aware, because if it is a labor conference in London, he's not the one that created that conference. He is to attend on behalf of the Nigerian Labour Congress. And then you just pound him at the airport. So this contradiction must be cleared by the government themselves, because the government, they are charging for both treason and terrorism. It is not we. So I have not seen all those charges. So government should not indict themselves by making charges that are extremely very delicate and they cannot defend it. And they are using it to haunt other organization. We also saw that Serap this morning was ransacked. So the government must come out and tell the citizens, this is what is happening. This is the situation of Nigeria. And the citizen will listen. But you cannot just invade someone and try to create charges against him, which you are not convincing an ordinary Nigerian that this is real. So you have a situation of trust and fiction. Who charge him with treason? We're not the one who charge him with terrorism. It's the same government. It's the same government that issues statements. We also listen to the side of the labor on the same issue, which they deny vehemently. Now, whose responsibility to make clarification? Is it me that is picking the information on the street, or the government that created these charges? So it's not me. My own responsibility is to advise government, when you want to do such things, do it diligently, transparently, so that Nigeria will not develop a different thinking about the entire operation. which is not good for the system. So if they have every evidence that this man committed this offense, that is why we have courts. After the investigation, take him to court. They have taken him to court before. He was released. Lawyers were there. So what else? What I'm saying is that we are not saying that government is completely wrong or labor is completely right, but do it within a very civil way or manner that people can understand you are not withholding anyone. That's the point I'm making. So we are not the one that charge him for any offense. As far as we are concerned, we are reading the situation very closely, very carefully. And we are also advising the government that is making these charges to do it very, very carefully. As a journalist, I'm sure you have taken the pulse right now. You have seen the reactions all over the place, both on conventional media and social media. The reactions were there in the public space. And what we are saying is, what we are also talking about is part of our reaction. And our reactions are to advise government to be very cautious. We are not stopping government from taking any decisive action that will undermine the security of Nigeria. No, nobody is saying that. But we are saying when you want to do it convincingly, so that you will not allow public to develop different opinions outside the good intention of the government. Right now, the government is not very clear about what they want to do. They are not very clear about it. So let us work as much as possible, as much as closely to ensure that we safeguard democracy. We should not allow anything to jeopardize this democracy that we fought for. That is the fundamental point we are making. We went through process of election, arms of government were elected, so we must be very diligent, we must be very careful in order not to disrupt the system by our actions or inaction.
Social Democratic Party. Progress.